Good afternoon and welcome back, ladies, gents and Pikachus. I wanted to speak to you about a rather famous fellow. You may recognise the name. Mr. Tommy Robinson of the protesting type. So he has been in some rather hot water with the law recently, and his life is now directly endangered by the very criminals and terrorists he sought to root out. So let's talk about it. I'm your host, Daily Corvid. Let's go. Now, I'm sure you've all heard of Tommy Robinson, the famous anti-Islamic democracy and freedom campaigner. He has landed himself in some rather hot water with the law, so he's been put into Belmarsh prison on a charge of terrorism. Now, you might think, oh, that's terrible, he's not a terrorist, he's never done anything like that in his life, hasn't hurt a fly, doesn't own a weapon, never used a gun, a knife or a bomb, and speaks against terrorism. That's his entire career. So why has he been put in a prison along with nobody but terrorists? Why would the government make that decision? The day after his protest, which by the way he was arrested on that day, so he couldn't appear at the protest, and it was a great success anyway. Now we hear he's been put into Belmarsh prison, surrounded by no one but Islamic terrorists, and he has been refused bail or visitation rights. That to me looks like an engineered plan to endanger his life in order that he cannot speak out again in future. Now think about it like this. Why would a government treat their own citizen like that when that citizen's only crime, which isn't even a criminal offence, it's a civil crime, his only crime is appearing for protests and speaking out against the absolute abuse of power and tyranny of this current government, this Labour government led by Kier Starmer? Does anyone else think that stinks to high hell? Does anyone else think that is an absolutely abominable, terrible thing for a government to have done? If you think this is an absolute travesty, then I think we should do something about this. Now, I'm not saying we should go out and riot or protest. I don't mean anything like that. But there has to be some way that we can send a message to this government and let them know this is not on. You do not treat us like this. Governments are there to serve the people. That's what they forget. Their salaries come out of what we pay in taxes. And they might think they're big celebrities. This is like Hollywood for ugly people. That's what I see as the Labour Party and, politics in this country. But it has to end somewhere. We've got to put our foot down and send a message to these crooks, these absolute corrupt communists, that this kind of thing will not be tolerated by us. And so if a big street protest isn't going to make any difference, we need to come up with a better idea. We need to have better strategies, more effective tactics to make our voices heard. Because in conclusion, I'd like you to think about it like this. Now it's Tommy Robinson. Tomorrow it might be me. The day after it could be you. And before long, who else is going to be left to speak up for the rights and freedoms that we hold so dear, that we take for granted in this country, that we have enjoyed throughout our lives up to now, that are being taken away by corrupt foreign terrorists who are here to cause trouble? And we know this from reading their book, The Quran of the Muslims, which we read every single day in the popular series Without Lies Islam Dies. Why do these guys get to come here, ruin our peace, destroy our legal system, ruin our laws, put innocent citizens who are good people defending this country and our rights in a prison for absolutely no reason, a high security prison full of terrorists, and virtually ensure that they're going to be violently treated by the other criminals in that facility with virtually no chance of getting out or having a visitor? Why is this happening? And how long is it going to be before it starts happening to you and I? We need to grab the bull by the horns here, ladies, gents and Pikachus, and make sure we don't let this go down without a fight. We need to do something about this, you and I. We can't rely on the government, we can't rely on the media. Celebrities and social media B-listers, they're no help at all. They have done nothing. In fact, they're probably gleefully supporting this because it means they can make more videos. They can make money, they can be more popular. All the while, our freedoms hang in the balance. So I'm going to have a think about this. There's got to be something we can do within the bounds of the law which will be effective. And that's what I'm going to be aiming to come up with and think about. So if you've got any ideas, please hit me up in the comments or send me an email. Time is of the essence. Obviously, this guy's life is in danger now. The people he's been speaking against, these criminals, these terrorists, are now going to be his neighbours, enclosed in a cell, being watched over by the guards who, by the government's own admission, are undertrained, underpaid and not motivated, and some of whom are actually supporting this incarceration of an innocent man who is for the British interest. So that's the end of this video. Have a think about it. Hit me up if you've got any good ideas. I will be making more videos about this in future, and we got to do something about this, and trust me, we will. So that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed that and you learnt something. God bless you all, and I'll see you lovely people in the next one. Bye now. I mean what I say, you know. It's a slippery slope down to the very bottom of the toilet, greased up by our disgusting, crooked politicians and people of that ilk. So watch out for me in the next Without Lies Islam Dies. In the meantime, have a lovely evening. God bless you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.